Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry that this is later than what most content creators have put out. I know a lot of people have already put out their videos, people have put out their community posts, tweets, whatsoever. Just felt like I needed more time to really process what is happening, what's going on here. For me, at least, it hit like a truck. I knew that this game has been going on for 6 years, and I knew this game is going to end eventually, but it always feels like it comes too soon, if you ask me. We're here to talk about the EOS announcement that has come up 2 days ago at the time of recording this. As I should, I just want to start out with giving thanks to all the people that deserve it, you know, the developers for making this amazing game. Opera Omnia is one of the best mobile games I've ever played in my life. You know what? It is the best mobile game I've ever played in my life. You know, the gameplay was so fun. I loved the fact that we were getting so many banners every week. You know, we were getting 2-3 banners a week, and normally with mobile games, you get one every month, maybe. Sometimes even more. But this game, not only does it give you more than enough resources to pull on most people you want, the banners were coming very regularly, because trust me, you don't see that a lot. Next, I want to talk about the community. I'll be completely upfront with you guys. I can't look back on my experiences with the Opera Omnia community with as much joy and nostalgia as a lot of other people I know. I did come in late, you know, I came around 3 years ago. Yeah, I've had some tussles here and there with the Opera Omnia community, but there are still a number of people that I want to thank. Wanted to shout them out because I appreciate them so much. First off is Simply Lost. He was definitely the biggest influence that helped grow my channel. If Simply Lost didn't shout me out, I would not have been where I am right now, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Thank you, bro. He helped me out with a lot of stuff. Super supportive of my channel, continuously buying memberships, gifting memberships. I'm just sad that I wasn't able to reciprocate that, but I still always tried to watch his streams when I can and try to support him in other ways besides money. Simply Lost also helped me by calling me out on stuff. He wasn't afraid to tell me when I was doing something wrong or when I was inaccurate with something or maybe I shouldn't do something, and I really appreciate that. Eternally grateful that I met him, eternally grateful that he helped me out. Definitely still going to be watching him, still going to be subscribed to him even after all this happens. The next person I want to thank is RenKupo. She isn't as active as she used to be. Granted, it's not her fault. She's very busy with real life. She was one of the first content creators I ever watched. You know, I was watching her polls and I decided to join her Discord server. Her Discord server was really the first Opera Omnia community that I was ever a part of. For a lot of the time, that was the only Opera Omnia Discord server I was in, and that was my only place to hang out with other people playing the game. And the community was overall very nice. I really appreciated it. RenKupo also, outside of Opera Omnia, helped me greatly with getting Pokemon Scarlet Violet, particularly the Paradox ones. I still love my Iron Hands, by the way. Lastly, RenKupo overall is just an extremely kind soul. You know, I don't want to get too deep into it because it was a very personal issue. I did her wrong a while ago. I did her and her husband wrong. I apologize for it, and she still forgave me for it. And what's really awesome is she never brought it up again. I want to tell you guys something. That doesn't happen, especially not with people online. Because of what I did, if she just blocked me and never talked to me again, would have been completely justified. I would have had no reason to argue with that. She still decided to welcome me in the community, still decided to even watch my content at times. It's just awesome. It's just, she gave me another opportunity to try again, better myself, and I am trying to better myself. And yeah, thank you. Next person. Oh man, I'm getting emotional here. All right, the next person I want to talk about is the Broadway Saiyan, another content creator who shouted me out, especially during the last Fireside stream. That honestly shocked me. I was not expecting him to do that. That was so cool. Grateful that he helped me out that much. Even since he doesn't do Opera Omnia anymore, I still watched him when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out. I watched his streams a lot with that. And with Ever Crisis, he was the main person I watched when looking for guides, looking for tips and tricks. Really appreciate him for putting that much work into content creation. And lastly, he just had his third son, having 3 kids. I couldn't imagine. Congrats to him. I hope his family stays happy and healthy. I also want to give a small shout out to the rest of the people who helped me a lot, some of them being great friends of mine now. Akibo Hinode, Serveric, Mr. Diary Holder, Kaiden Cortez, and Quartz Benji. And many others, of course. I could spend a whole video thanking everyone, so please don't get upset if I didn't include you. Still, thank you very much for being a part of my channel and community. Now that I've got all that out of the way, I want to talk about why I think EOS happened. 2 main reasons in my opinion. Smaller community and small revenue. I know games like Record Keeper, even though that game's already done, Brave Exvius especially have a much bigger player base. Opera Omnia didn't compare to those games, and given the community size, I'm honestly surprised this game lasted as long as it did. The bigger reason, in my opinion, on why this game ended up ending is the small revenue. Opera Omnia doesn't make that much money. I think that was pretty obvious from the jump. The monthly revenue was 600,000, then went to 500,000, 400,000, 300,000 in October. JP even less than that. Holy crap, JP, what? Oh my goodness, only 15,000. Half as much revenue as global. Yo, global carrying. Now, why do I think that the revenue isn't making as much? Well, it's because unfortunately, the gacha system is very nice. As much as I love the gacha system, financially wise, yeah, it doesn't make as much money. There's a reason why a lot of gacha games are very greedy with drop rates and the banners. It's because that's their bread and butter for making money, honestly, and Opera Omni didn't have that, and financially wise, it did hurt them. I wish this wasn't the case. I wish they were in a better place. It's just the fact of the matter. The next thing I want to talk about is the character choices. There were a number of times where I was hyped up for a unit to come, and then when the unit came, I was very disappointed. Most notable ones I can think about, Penelo and Papalomo. Penelo, when her global first came out, y'all saw my reaction to that. Yes, she was a great unit. She was very fun to use, but ultimately, did I want Penelo as the global first? Absolutely not. I had so many other people I would have preferred over Penelo for the global first. Maybe they did want to include a more hype character for the global first, and they just couldn't. Penelo was the best choice they had. Regardless, a number of people weren't happy when Penelo was chosen. Unfortunately, that's just a fact of the matter, guys. And secondly, with Papalomo in the global and JP first. When he came out, I didn't really want him, and I know a lot of people didn't want him. Even in Final Fantasy XIV alone, there are other units that would have been a more audience-favorited pick. Alice, Alphanod, Ishtola, Thancred. Yo, if Thancred had a BTFR, that would have broken the community. I'm 100% of that. But they chose Papalomo. In my opinion, one of the least hyped characters from Final Fantasy XIV. But that's just me. Some people might have been excited. But I know as an overall general consensus, yeah, Papalomo wasn't the best pick. Again, that just could have been the best choice they had out of all of their available picks. But was I very happy that Papalomo was chosen as global first? No. I saw a recent tweet from Astenosis. If you guys had released characters sooner that we've literally been begging for, we'd be in a better spot. And ultimately, I kind of agree with him. If there were more tactics characters like Thunder God Sid or Delita, if those characters were in the game, would have turned a lot more heads for sure. And if people like Riku came in the game, Genesis from Final Fantasy VII, Red 13 would have been really nice. They might not have been able to do that. Maybe they asked the respective people, hey, can we include these characters in the game? And they said no. Despite the reason, the fact of the matter is they weren't in the game. And that did hurt the revenue because not as many people were playing. Those are the two main reasons why I think EOS happened. Smaller community, small revenue. I'm not going to say I'm a businessman and I know exactly the ins and outs of how Square Enix works, and this is the concrete reason of why it happened. I'm just giving my predictions on why it happened. Now, all that out of the way. What are my honest thoughts on EOS? Before I really dive into it, I just want to give a reminder that what I'm about to say isn't coming from hate, bitterness. I am forever grateful for the experience and the fun this game has given me. I have not had this much fun with a mobile game in a very long while. This game will always have a place in my heart, even long after all this is done. How do I think about the ending? Quite frankly, I'm annoyed. I don't like at all how they went about this. We have the notice of end of service here. I'm going to read it out. It is with deep regret that we inform you that Opera Omnia will end service. We understand that this comes as a shock to our loyal players who have been playing day after day. Square Enix Josh made a post. I know this may come as a shock to many of you. I understand if you feel blindsided, but I hope you believe you understand that it was the only decision we could have made. I don't doubt that they were in a bad place. This was probably the best thing that they could have done with what they were given. But he says right here, for full transparency, we had known about end of service well in advance, which is why October's live stream was always going to be the last live stream. If they knew that the end of service was going to be well in advance, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they would have planned it out better. Again, I'm not gonna completely fault them on this. I'm not gonna doubt that they tried their best. It's just a very awkward place that they decide to stop at. The merge between Global and JP, that never happened. And as a result of the merge never happening, Global will never see any more reworks and new characters that are currently present in JP. I don't like that. I wanted to try out Gladio. I wanted to try out Aiko. I wanted to try out new characters. Amaranth, Rufus, Zizat. I wanted to try out Kai's rework. Kais looks broken. I'll never get that. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed at that. So many characters that I was looking forward to coming on Global, they're never gonna happen anymore. This feels like if you were in class and you were given a big project to do and you just decided to drop the project midway without ever finishing it and still submitting it to the teacher. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of hard blood, sweat, and tears has been been putting into this game, and I'm eternally grateful for the work they've put in. But the fact of the matter is, this game wasn't finished yet. Again, I'm not trying to come from an ungrateful standpoint. I'm not trying to be needlessly bitter. I can't lie and say that I'm completely happy with this ending. I wanted more. I wish we would have at least had a merge so we can enjoy all of the characters that JP enjoyed. We can't even have that. Frustrating, honestly. What happens to my channel? What am I going to do moving forward since Opera Omnia is going to be ending soon? I'm going to do one of two things. I either stop this channel completely and move on to working on other channels. I have an older YouTube channel that I've been working on a lot longer than this one. Thinking about going back to that channel, but I've also thought of starting a new channel. You guys might not have known this, but I've been learning drumming since March of this year. I've been working really hard at it. I've been wanting to start a drum account, whether on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, kind of like a showcasing of my progress because I'm very passionate about drumming. So either I go back to RBG Talk, or I start a drumming account, or I continue with this channel, but with other mobile games. Apart from Opera Omnia, the other games that I've been playing, Guardian Tales, Reverse 1999, both amazing games that I love, but honestly, I don't feel like I would contribute much if I were to start making content on those two. The next thing I could do was re-download some games. Mobile games that I've downloaded and tried out, I thought were cool, but I ended up deleting. I might re-download Honkai Star Rail. Or, lastly, with this channel, I could start playing main Final Fantasy games. I briefly did a couple videos on Final Fantasy 1, but that didn't really get much traction, so I stopped. I might bring that back. Not too sure. I'm still forever grateful that they made a game this good and that they upkept this game for 6 years. Thank you for this game. I still am going to be making a couple videos after this. Probably going to be making a top 5, top 10 list of Opera Omnia units. Try my best to update all of that before the game ends. And I've also been working on a very, very big video that I've been working on for the past 2 months. I'm still going to finish that before this game ends. Be on the lookout for all of that. We on to the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!